How could positive thinking be the least effective way to deal with intrusive thoughts? This evening's lesson is drawn from a good-hearted question found on Reddit. Whoops, what's going on with my phone? The question begins, quiet mind. I feel like I'm always playing noise, background shows, distractions because my intrusive thoughts cause anger, discomfort. I don't know much of it. Is ADD or what? I just like to enjoy peace, but I find silence, unless I'm actively thinking, untenable. Anyone have tips to be more peaceful? Negative emotions are draining, and I feel like they pull me down in silence, and I'm always doing battle, you know? Yep, I know. So, before I strive to answer your question, quick background. Number one, I am not a credentialed professional. I'm just a meditation teacher. If you choose to, I strongly recommend that you find a credentialed professional who not only specializes in what you're going through, intrusive thoughts, ADHD, neurodivergence, and the like, but who also has made the thrust of their continuing education during the length of their professional career really focusing on lifestyle therapies. If you don't know where to look, in the description area below the video under the heading Freebies, there's a link for what's it called? What's the name of the organization? One moment, please. Let me look that up real quick. Oh, the PCRM Find a Doctor link. Yeah, that will really, really help you out. So let me get back over here. Okay. So, having gone there, now let's move forward. I have a bunch of disabilities. I have ADHD and I have autism, and all that has been exacerbated by numerous factors, including fetal alcohol exposure, birth trauma brain damage, PTSD, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and myalgic encephalomyelitis. So, whole bunch of stuff going on. And in my own life, to me, an intrusive thought is a red flag that I need rest, or I need a snack, or I need water, or all the above. Sometimes the triggers in my life have to do with dopamine. If my dopamine drops below a certain point, everything goes haywire. That is the ADHD. Sometimes there'll be a trigger. For instance, a work of fiction, whether it's a novel or a movie or something that just reminds me of a traumatic trigger. Intrusive thoughts do not happen in a vacuum. They are not indicative of a character flaw. They are indicative of unmet needs in our central nervous system. And contrary to what we might have been told, trauma doesn't just affect our emotions, it affects our entire body. It rewires us. So, once again, I strongly suggest you find a credentialed professional who specializes in this. Additionally, Dr. Tom Hartman, PhD, wrote a book called Walking Your Blues Away. And when you've done what you can, you've had water, you've had a snack, you've laid down, you've watched cat videos, the intrusive thoughts are still shaking you by the lapels, then by all means take a brisk walk around the block while practicing silent meditation. So I'd like to explore silent meditation with you right now, but do so through the lens of neuroscience, if that's okay with you. Sturgeon's Law reminds us that 90% of everything sucks, but not in the fun, tingly way. Therefore, it should not surprise us that the majority of so-called meditation teachers or sometimes flat out teach that being rigid, fearful, superstitious, controlling, elitist, cryptic, competitive, and cruel is A-OK. So it comes as a little surprise that those are the type of people who will endorse that their students practice active concentration or active analysis. The only way to do any of those things is to rely upon discrete mechanisms in our prefrontal cortex, such as those found in the medial prefrontal cortex or the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. However, I must warn you, doing so will trigger your amygdala, the seat of aggression and anxiety. So if you want peace, then active analysis and active concentration are not going to get you there. They're going to take you the opposite direction. So let's explore which mechanisms within our central nervous system are ideal for giving you the peace that you hunger for. More than 26 centuries ago, it was taught that the seventh fold of the eightfold path is mindfulness. Every time we inhale, whether we know it or not, whether we mean to or not, we are wired to automatically access our sympathetic nervous system, found within our central third, or the central third of our spinal cord. This bad boy has evolved to help us perceive vulnerably, passively, viscerally, and randomly, which is the opposite, isn't it? It's the opposite of being rigid, fearful, controlling, elitist, cryptic, competitive, and cruel. So this is that which can help us to be the person that our dog already thinks we are. But there's a downside. We're wired to notice, yes? We are wired to notice sights, sounds, sensations, flavors, scents, and the like. But that's not all we're wired to notice. We're also wired to notice emotions, intentions, thoughts, memories, and you got it, imaginings. That whole kit and caboodle could feel overwhelming, but I've got additional good news for you. The eightfold of the Buddha's eightfold path is meditation. And every time we exhale, whether we know it or not, whether we feel it or not, whether we mean to or not, we are inadvertently accessing our parasympathetic nervous system, which is found in both the lower third and the upper third of our central nervous system. I'm going to check something real quick. Good, there it is. Fabulous. Okay, so this parasympathetic nervous system has evolved to support both physical relaxation, and wait for it, as well as mental release. So that which you are looking for is already found. We already have mechanisms that are devoted, that are optimized for mindfulness and meditation that is effective and easy and even pleasurable. Now, a really intelligent question is this. Well, if I am already wired for this, then why do I still feel the need to meditate? And the answer is the circus. Due to a quirk of evolution, our brain is wired like a three-ring circus, or if you're as geeky as me, it's as disorganized as a Borg circus. Similarly, like a bunch of college fraternity pledges trying to pile in a VW bug, getting knees and elbows all into each other's guts and face. Similarly, our brain is a three-ring shit show. But there's good news. Check this out. When we silently, mentally, and passively recite the verb perceiving during our inhalation, our brain will begin cooperating with our sympathetic nervous system. Similarly, when we silently, mentally, and passively recite releasing during our exhalation, our brain will begin cooperating with our parasympathetic nervous system. So take a brisk walk around the block for 20 or 40 or 60 minutes and exercise the hair-raising terror of being with whatever comes up, whether it's a perception or an emotion or an intention or a thought or a memory or an imagining. It'll probably be all the above, and that's fine, because swinging our arms and swinging our legs while playing with these words silently and mentally in harmony with our breathing, it helps the brain to process these things. Does it make everything go away? No. Does it erase any health problems? No. Does it give us a Brady Bunch past? Hell no. But it helps us to cope with greater efficiency. Clearly, I can't walk with you tonight, but I can sit with you. So instead of using the three-syllable word perceiving, I will play with the one-syllable word this. And instead of playing with the three-syllable word releasing, we'll play with the one-syllable word ease as we sit comfortably upon our meditation cushions. I look forward to practicing with you together as a team after approximately 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I've spent about 8 hours a day, almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each sect of Buddhism so that you would not have to. Welcome, my friends, to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. Tonight I thought it could be great fun to play with, the latest iteration of Heart of Meditation. That's right, folks. All class, all the time. Let us begin by setting intention by chanting love and letting go's wishes for universal enlightenment and well-being. Please chant with me. May all circumstances of all beings appearing yet impermanent be as safe and abundant as a real or imagined Buddha's land. May all minds of all beings clear yet impermanent be as joyfully enlightened as a real or imagined Buddha's mind. May all relationships of all beings resounding yet impermanent be as peacefully loving as a real or imagined Buddha's speech. May all bodies of all beings sensual yet impermanent be as beautifully healthy as a real or imagined Buddha's form. So, we're going to take the Heart Sutra and divide it up unevenly into quarters. And we're going to chant a quarter and then sit and meditate, chant a quarter and then sit and meditate, going back and forth like the pendulum of a grandfather clock. Helps to add a splash of dopamine here and there. Did you ever watch Mary Poppins, how she sang a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down? Similarly, tossing in precise amounts of dopamine here and there make the silence of meditation doable. Please chant with me. It is said that Quan Chi and Pusa an archetype of love and letting go, while moving in the deep peace of the perfect understanding of awareness and release. Shed light on the five aggregates and found them equally empty. After this realization, she made peace with all pain. Listen, Shariputra, form is emptiness, emptiness is form. Form does not differ from emptiness, emptiness does not differ from form. The same is true with feeling, appraisal, impulse, and awareness. Quick review. As we silently, mentally, and passively recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, vulnerably, passively, viscerally, and randomly, we can watch the antics of mind as it perceives, emotes, intends, reasons, recalls, and imagines. As we silently, mentally, and passively recite the one-syllable verb ease during our exhalation, we can relax into mind's non-graspable nature. And let's chant. Listen, Sharipudra, phenomena marked with emptiness. Oopsie, I'm not sure if this is, let's go back over here. Okay, good. Listen, Sharipudra, phenomena are marked with emptiness. They are neither produced nor destroyed, neither corrupted nor purified, neither increasing nor decreasing. Therefore in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no appraisal, no impulse and no awareness that once perceived cannot be released. No sensation, no flavor, no scent, no sound, no sight, no phenomena that once perceived cannot be released. No body, no tongue, no nose, no ears, no eyes, no mind that once perceived cannot be released. No feeling, no tasting, no smelling, no hearing, no seeing, no noticing that once perceived cannot be released. Please chant with me. No interdependent origins and no extinction of them. From confusion to aging and death that once perceived cannot be released. No stress, no confusion, no liberation, no path. No understanding, no attainment that once perceived cannot be released. Because there is no attainment that once perceived cannot be released. The Bodhisattva archetypes of awareness and release supported by perception and release is perfection of understanding. Find no obstacles for the minds that once perceived cannot be released. Having no obstacles that once perceived cannot be released, they transcend the tyranny of fear, liberating themselves forever from the tyranny of illusion and realizing perfect nirvana. All Buddhas of the past, present, and future, thanks to this perfect understanding of noticing and releasing, arrive at full right and universal enlightenment. off. Please chant with me. Therefore, one should know that this perfect understanding of noticing and releasing is like a great mantra, is like an unequal mantra. The destroyer of the tyranny of all suffering, the incorruptible truth. A mantra Prajnaparamita's perfect wisdom of awareness and release could therefore be proclaimed. Oops. This is the mantra Gate Gate Para Samgate Bodhiswa. Gone completely and perfectly gone to enlightenment, may it be so. If you've just joined me, welcome aboard. As we silently, mentally, and passively recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, we can find ourselves vulnerably, passively, viscerally, and randomly watching the antics of mind as it perceives, emotes, intends, reasons, recalls, and imagines. Or perhaps I should say that as it perceives, emotes, intends, reasons, recalls, and imagines, vulnerably, passively, viscerally, and randomly. That makes better sense. As we silently, mentally, and passively recite the one-syllable verb ease during our exhalation, we can relax into mind's non-graspable nature. Let us seal the practice by chanting love and letting go's wishes for universal enlightenment and well-being. May all circumstances of all beings appearing yet impermanent be as safe and abundant as a real or imagined Buddha's land. May all minds of all beings clear yet impermanent be as joyfully enlightened as a real or imagined Buddha's mind. May all relationships of all beings resounding yet impermanent be as peacefully loving as a real or imagined Buddha's speech. May all bodies of all beings sensual yet impermanent be as beautifully healthy as a real or imagined Buddha's form. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 10 2/3 hours, I would very much like to return to lead tomorrow's early meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.